My name is Eudora Arthur, and this is my speech on the scariest night of my life. I grew up in a middle-class neighborhood. I went to a safe school, and I always had a loving family to come home to. Due to personal family reasons, I ended up having to spend 6 months living in a group home. Now, group homes usually have foster kids that have spent their whole life in foster care, or bad seeds that constantly break the law, and it's an effort to rehabilitate them. Despite our very different backgrounds, I ended up getting along with the girls, and I also made a few friends. Just a few days before I was going to leave the group home for good, a new resident came, and she decided that she didn't like me. One morning, she came into my room and punched me in the face for no reason at all. Later that day, I pressed charges, and I spent the weekend at home. While I was at home, the other girls found out and spent the entire weekend working themselves up, calling me a snitch, and talking about how much they hated me. All of a sudden, all of my friends became my worst enemies. When I returned to the group home, they harassed and called me names, and so I asked if I could go upstairs to my room. I was allowed to go to my room, but it was against the rules to shut your door. One by one, the girls came up to my room with cups full of water and threw it in my face and on my bed and all over my face. Staff came in and locked me in my room so they couldn't get to me. The girls continued yelling and going on, but I tried to ignore it and fell asleep. Hours later, I was awoken by the fire alarm. The girls had set it off. Unfortunately, that night, there was a new staff working, and he was a 70-year-old man. He didn't know how to turn off the fire alarm, so as he struggled with the keys to turn it off, the girls got the keys from him and tried to open my door. The only thing between a band of raging psychotic girls screaming that they were going to kill me and me was that locked door, and they had the key. Luckily, the staff member got the keys back from them before they could open my door. Staff cried and pleaded with them to stop. They just taunted and teased him. They banged, kicked, and spit on my door as they tried to get in. The staff member went into the office and locked himself in to get away from the girls. Over and over again, I could hear him call the police, but no one was coming. Finally, after hours of them banging on my door, the police came. When they got there, the girls went back to their rooms and blasted rap music and screamed obscenities out of their rooms to the police officers. The police tried to intimidate them into submission, but it wasn't working. Finally, a girl came out and tried to hit one of the police officers. The madness finally ended when the girl got tased. Finally, everyone went into their rooms, calmed down, and went to sleep. This entire time, I was sitting in a pitch-black room, huddled in the farthest corner, praying that they wouldn't open the door. The next morning, the police came early before all the other girls woke up and escorted me out of the group home, and I never returned.